Hello everyone, James Devon TV. We've got a new manager, which is like a good thing because out with the old, in with the new. But then bad thing, Jurgen Klopp's now like officially gone. He already was. Yeah, what's his name? Arne Slot. We'll just call him Slot in this video. Don't want to be butchering his name. This is the journey, isn't it? Where you start off by butchering the name and then you continue. Like, I'm sure people called Jurgen when he first joined, so allow me. I'm actually really happy that this news has been announced. According to Fabrizio Romano, here we go. New Liverpool coach is announced. Huge news in the history of Liverpool Football Club. Huge news in the new reign of Michael Edwards. I'll tell you now, I'm happy because I missed out a key detail in the earlier video. I never mentioned he won the league with Feyenoord last season. And this season he's won a cup. So he's been established with winning trophies. He's got to European finals with Feyenoord. It was just a key detail that I missed out on my notes before the last video. What does that mean? Now, just because I found out he's won a league title doesn't drastically change my opinion on him. I just want to come to the conclusion that this is a huge move from Liverpool Football Club. The casual football fans and Liverpool fans would have been saying, go and get a Zinedine Zidane, go and get a Jose Mourinho, go and get an established, proven manager, when not taken into consideration there could be greater value in finding the next best thing. The question is Slot the next best thing, and is he the man for Liverpool Football Club? Well, let's break it down. The current way that we play is a smoother transition from Klopp to Slot than from Klopp to Amorim, and that is just basically meaning the tactical differences, the way the manager is, his characterisms. These are the type of things that are important when it comes to a transition. Are the players now going to be having to deal with an entire new culture? Yes, there will be differences, quite a lot of differences as well. The way we defend will be different. The way we attack will be different. But at the same time, it's still smoother. And I'm sure gradually and slowly and surely, you'll see Slot adapt just game by game. He'll get the players to play in his team and he'll make sure that they're playing his way. That's what he's done very well at all the clubs he's been at. When he joined SK Cambor, I think the team is, they went on, they done really well in the second division, nearly got promoted, just about missed out. Then he goes to AZ Alkmaar, does really well at AZ Alkmaar, got sacked because he was in talks with Feyenoord when he shouldn't have been, and then he joins Feyenoord. And bear in mind, even with AZ Alkmaar, he was level on points, top of the league with Ajax, but COVID stopped that season null and void, and Ajax won the league. Or I'm not sure if they won the league or if it was given just as a vacancy trophy. I'm not too sure. Either way, really impressive. And then he goes to Feyenoord. Again, a team that isn't the superiority resource-wise of the PSVs and the Ajaxes. Still a huge club in Holland, don't get me wrong. Some really big superstars have came from Feyenoord. Shout out to Dirk Kuyt. We love you. But it's still a club that he's had to do work with, and he's done really good work with. So, really impressive couple of years. I think a really good manager choice. I know a lot of people wanted Amorim. I was up there with that as well. But there's something in this manager that the club quite clearly have identified that they say, yeah, this is a good choice for us. And I think it's telling that they've made this decision now. They've announced it now. They've made it official now. And we were never really in for Amorim. I mean, maybe he was on the shortlist, the same way Xabi Alonso was on the shortlist. But it didn't mean that either of them were our number one options. And what the fans knew at the time was like, whoa, well, it's Thomas Tuchel, it's Thomas Frank, these are the options. It's like, well, no, there is managers in the Eredivisie, there is managers in other leagues that can be a potential success. You know, once upon a time, Arsene Wenger was a nobody in France. Once upon a time, Sir Alex Ferguson had never done it in England because he'd been too busy in Scotland. There was once upon a time where Jose Mourinho had never done it in England. He'd done it in Portugal. So you've got to take all these points into consideration and say, do you know what? Maybe it is about looking for the next best thing. Because what's the point in going and getting a Jose Mourinho who in recent time has proven, okay, good cup manager, can get you to finals, get you to this, but can he take us to the league titles that we want to get to? Not too sure. We feel like with Jose Mourinho, there's a ceiling there, at least based on his recent form and recent history. You know, you think about, the realistic options, Thomas Tuchel. Do you really want to downgrade from Thomas Tuchel to Klopp and also downgrade the way you play football, the excitement you play football? Not necessarily. Hence why I'm happy we never went with one of those two options. I'd have been depressed if we got one of those two options. And to anyone sitting there thinking you're on some moral high horse, oh, we're Liverpool Football Club and we deserve to win trophies, so we need to go and get a winning manager. You don't understand the point of cohesion, timing, and the right manager with the right club. I don't care if you get Pep Guardiola. If you get Pep Guardiola managing Wimbledon, yes, I'm sure there'll be differences. Yes, I'm sure there'll be improvements. But I promise you they're not going to be winning no Champions Leagues. There's only so much a coach can do, and you need the right coach for the right group of players. And the reason why I think this coach is the right coach for this group of players is because he's established with youngsters. If you look at his current team at Feyenoord, it's a very young team, average age, I don't know the exact average age, but I know a lot of their main players sit between the age of probably 19 to 26 years of age. It's very few players in that squad that are over that. So that's really important as well. And the fact that he promotes and advocates for the idea of youth prospects, and the fact that he does seem like a very charismatic, energetic person, there is potential for us to connect with him as a manager. And all we need right now is potential. We're getting someone with a decent resume, very successful in Holland. Can you question, oh, well, he's from Holland. Okay, fine. There's been bad track records of Holland to the Premier League, but there has been good Dutch managers. There has been. We just need to give him a chance. I know it's tough, and I know it's not quite as sexy as what Jurgen Klopp was when he joined, because what Klopp did with Dortmund was undoubtedly more sexy than what Slot has done with this current side. But we've got to give him a chance. We've got to give him time to give him his philosophy, to get his players. And he's coming into a good team as well. Bear in mind, he's got the likes of Gakpo, Gravenberch, Van Dijk. You'd like to hope he's going to be familiar with them and grow a good relationship with them immediately. And then you question, the exciting part about this is that now we're seeing a little bit more uncertainty on people's places at the club. What's going to happen with Fabio Carvalho, who has been absolutely incredible, a Hull City? What's he going to do with Curtis Jones, who's been absolutely abysmal? What's he going to do with Mohamed Salah, who is getting to that point where if you get a good enough offer, you should consider selling him? What's he going to do with Núñez in terms of his starting place in the team? How does he change it around? Does he do an Erik ten Hag and bring in the players from where he's from? I don't think so, because he's not going to get that control. Manchester United were weak, spineless, ugly, out of testosterone when they appointed Erik ten Hag, to a point where they was like, hi Erik, I'm going to bend over for you now because we need help from what we believe is you, the Messiah, when Erik ten Hag is not the Messiah. He was just at a very well-run club in Ajax, and that was the result of why they are where they are now. Hence why he signed Anthony, hence why he signed Malacia and all these players he was familiar with, but hasn't worked out at all. So I'm glad we're getting someone who is a good coach. He's being brought in to coach these players. And I got a message, by the way, that's why I was like that. And not too much influence on who he brings in. I don't think he has the credentials that the people that Michael Edwards is going to appoint when it comes to scouting players. So we don't need to worry about this manager bringing in the wrong players, because what's going to happen is the scouts are going to try and identify the right players for the manager, meaning he can just focus on coaching, getting to know his players, and working with what is a very young squad. So I like the signs, I like the basic attributes of what you need to checklist, and I like the reference. I like the fact Jurgen Klopp is pleased with the appointment. I like the fact that Virgil van Dijk has spoken positively about the appointment. And listen, you've always got to take the footballers speaking about stuff with a pinch of salt. It's clear that this deal has been very likely for days, hence why he came out and said, I really want to manage Liverpool. If it was unlikely, he wouldn't have been daft enough to do that. Virgil van Dijk came out a couple of days ago. That should have been another telltale sign. From there, I knew this guy was going to be our manager, at least eventually, because everyone's twerking for him. So let's just give him time. Let's just see what happens. And Liverpool have got a new manager. And it's weird. It's like I'm not as sad now because I've fully accepted the idea that Klopp is gone. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Let's hope he does well. Let's fully back him. Let's support. Here we go. Guys, love yous. Hope you have a good one. Bye.